Hey, so you're in Platinum, probably the worst rank you can find yourself within Rocket League. You're past the point where just playing the game casually makes you rank up, and worst of all, you have to play with other Platinums. Thankfully, I'm here to help. You see, I'm only a Diamond 2 player, and it hasn't been that long since I've been in Platinum. I mean, you can go listen to some tips from a Grand Champion or SSL, but let's face it, how much can they really know about how it feels to be in Platinum? As Pitbull would say.
Believe me, been there, done that.
So today I'm gonna be giving you 4 crucial tips that will make it significantly easier to rank up the Diamond. Without any further ado, let's get right into it. Tip number 1. Get really good at the basic shots and saves. Listen, I know you've probably heard this tip a million times, but it's incredibly important. As much fun as it is training flip resets or air dribbles, it isn't the fastest way to rank up. If you're in Platinum, you need to get really good at the core mechanics. I've seen way too many Platinum players attempt an air dribble and then proceed to miss the easiest shot that they could ever get. And listen, if you're just playing Rocket League for fun, then I have nothing against training these flashy mechanics. But if you're trying to rank up as fast as possible, you need to get super good at the basics. I'm going to give you 4 training packs that should make this a lot easier. For shooting, you should train the ground shot training pack and the consistency shooting training pack. Both of these aren't very difficult, but the shots in them are very common within games. I would recommend completing each of them and then perhaps trying to master that. What I mean by that is, for example, doing each shot until you can do it 3 times in a row, or doing as many of them as you can consecutively. For the saves, I would recommend the saves training pack and the uncomfortable saves training pack. The first one has all sorts of saves in it, and the second one is a little bit more complex and it includes some pretty difficult saves, so don't be too worried if you cannot do all of them yet, but it's good to at least practice them. Now, whenever you're warming up, instead of just spending all time in free play, dedicate some of that time to training these packs. Whether it's 15 minutes or an hour, any amount of time is good. If you consistently train these, your shooting and saving capabilities will go up drastically in no time. Tip number 2. Never rely on your teammate. The player base in Platinum is one of the biggest anomalies in Rocket League. The players have a solid understanding on the basics, so they know how to play the game, yet their rotating skills are mind-numbingly bad. For this reason, you should never be 100% sure that your teammate is going to make the right decision, even if it seems incredibly obvious to you. What I recommend is at the start of every game, you spend a little bit of time looking at how your teammate plays and adjust your gameplay accordingly. A lot of the time you'll come across mindless ball chasers who just go for every ball imaginable, and sometimes people that just stay in the net the whole game. It's quite rare to find anyone in Platinum who rotates somewhat normally. The worst thing you can do is fight against it. If your teammate is a ball chaser, then a sure way to lose is being one as well. You don't have to be the player that scores the most goals in order to win. Let your teammate do that. If you can be the defensive backbone of your team, then that's even more valuable. Thankfully, in most games, the enemy team is also not gonna be very good at rotating, which leads me into my next tip. Tip number 3. Wait for mistakes and capitalize on them. As I said in the previous tip, rotation in Platinum is almost non-existent. A lot of times your enemy players are going to be directly behind one another, mindlessly chasing the ball, and if you put in a challenge at the right time, this can result in a perfect counter-attacking situation. One of the easiest ways to score a goal is to let all the other players chase the ball and just put your car in the right position. There's going to be countless situations where the enemy team messes up, makes some sort of a mistake, and passes the ball to you, and you're going to have a great shooting opportunity or even an open net. Platinum players make mistakes all of the time. All you have to do is be ready and minimize the amount of mistakes you do. There's no need to do anything flashy in almost any games. Here's an example of what I like to do. When my team gets possession of the ball, a lot of the time my teammate will take the ball and attempt some sort of an attack. Both of the enemy players will usually try to tackle my teammate, and it's not rare for them to do it at the same time. In the meantime, I like to position myself so that no matter where the ball ends up, I have a good chance of having a nice shooting position with no one defending the shot. This usually involves me taking one of the boosts and planting my car in the middle of the field. And 5 times out of 10, the ball bounces somewhere in my direction and I'm able to take a shot. Now, I don't always score, but there are many of these situations in every game and there's plenty of opportunities. Even if I miss, a lot of the times it creates a lot of pressure and maybe me or even my teammate can put the rebound in. This works even better if you're up. The enemy team will most likely get impatient and make more double commits, allowing you more opportunities. All you have to do is just wait for the right moment. Tip number 4. Rotate back post. 99% of the time when I see a Platinum player defending, they'll either be at the front post or I have no idea why, but here. Okay, I'm sorry, but are you defending or hiding? Like, what is this even supposed to be? Both of these are suboptimal. When you're defending, you want to be at the back post. It's simple. If you're at the back post, it's much easier to cover the entirety of the goal, and if you have enough boost, it's very unlikely that the enemy Platinum players will be able to make a shot that is unsavable. That being said, you obviously don't want to stay at the back post forever. You need to choose the best time to close in on the ball and put in a challenge. This is where a lot of mistakes can happen. It's not uncommon that you'll think you have a great position to clear the ball, but just as you're about to hit it, your teammate gets in your way. This is why it's also super crucial to always consider your teammate's position. As much as I've been hating on them, they can't always know what your intentions are. That's why it's safest to only go for the ball when you're sure no one will get in your way. The best way to rotate back post is around your enemy's net, and not in a straight line. This will avoid bumping into your teammate on the way back and also give you better momentum for defending. That's about all the tips I have for this video. I truly believe that if you implement these tactics, ranking up will be significantly easier for you. Obviously, it won't just take one day, but multiple to fully learn all of these tips and the correct approach. And of course, you can do your absolute best and you still won't win every game. That's just how Rocket League is. Anyway, thank you everyone so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, then please consider subscribing and liking, and I wish you the best of luck in ranked, cause Jesus Christ, I wouldn't want to be in Platinum.